Hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for the second episode of season number 2 of our FIFA 17 career mode here with Hull City. Today we are starting off the EPL season. Last time of course we got some transfer activity done and did the Community Shield where we actually lost on penalties to Manchester City, but as one person told me in the comment section, nobody cares about the Community Shield, which I sort of do agree with, I'm not going to lie. I'd rather have a good season in the Premier League than win the Community Shield, to be quite honest with you. In the background you can actually see just a clump of teams between 12th and 14th, for anyone interested. Those are the teams that were promoted. It was Newcastle, Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday. But today we are going to be sorting out some more transfer activity. I've got a lot lined up for you guys. Today we'll be playing those 2 EPL games there at the start of the season. We're playing Stoke City, who were so good in Season 1 but failed to get in the Champions League, and also West Ham United, who were sort of a mid-table team last year but of course still have a very good squad. Now, one thing I asked you guys last episode in a poll was which 2 central midfielders you would like me to buy. There was a choice of 5. The choices were Ebenezer Afore, Jean-Philippe Gbamin, Dennis Zakaria, Adam Nodge, and also Walen Cyprian. And you guys voted in your droves. There's quite a lot of you guys actually voting, which is awesome to see. The winner was not the man that you see on the screen, but Ebenezer Afore was the guy who got the second most amount of votes. So we will be signing him. I did say I'd be signing the top 2 in that vote, because I feel as if we do need quite a bit of depth. But he is the first player to join the club out of the central midfielders. But the second player that you guys chose was the most expensive, unfortunately, but also probably the best out of the lot. Walen Cyprian of OGC Nice. This one didn't surprise me at all. So Walen Cyprian and Ebenezer Afore will be signing for the club. Now, another guy we're going to be looking at instantly here is Shay Adams of Birmingham. A lot of you guys have been calling for me to bring in some young English talents. We're going to look at this guy. He's sort of a backup striker, got very good pace, very good strength and very good finishing as well. And I think we're going to make a £4.5 million bid for him, and we'll see whether we can sort of steal him away from the Blues of the Championship. Good news, Birmingham City have decided to accept our £4.5 million bid for Shay Adams, someone who was actually suggested, I think, right at the start of the series. Very good suggestion, actually. Young player, decent potential. I think about 82 to 83 potential. We're going to make a contract offer here of 25.5k, for him, 4-year contract and squad rotation player squad role. Well, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Adams has accepted our contract offer as the ex-Sheffield United player, £4.5 million in terms of a transfer sum, 25.5k. Decent potential on this guy, young, promising English player, and he will become our 5th signing of this transfer window in productive. So having secured 3 transfers then in this episode so far, we've been very productive. Obviously we signed Afore and Cyprian right at the start, and you'll have seen me just doing negotiations for Shay Adams. Here are all of them. Shay Adams, you can see, very pacey, very strong as well, and decent finishing. He looks as if he'd play a lot better than a 73 overall player, plus he's got decent ball control and dribbling too. I've also got Ebenezer Afore here, you can see in the background, 94 agility and 92 ball balance, 84 ball control, decent passing as well as decent tackling stats too, so he looks like a very agile player. His dribbling should be very good. And obviously we've got Walen and Cyprian as well, decent pace, decent strength as well as good passing stats and also some decent defensive stats, and 80 dribbling and 79 ball control too. So looking at the transfer budget now, despite paying for 3 players so far this episode, we are still looking pretty healthy in terms of money. £22.6 million is our transfer budget. Now then, one of the first positions we talked about in terms of buying more players in this transfer window, would you believe? We've already brought in 5, but we're still thinking of bringing in a few more. I feel as if we need another striker to try and compete with Abel Hernandez, basically to replace Harold Preciado, who we have lost now. A few of them we've actually looked at before. Alassane Player we've looked at already from OGC Nice, and Andrea Bellotti we've looked at as well. We are going to look at these 5 strikers here, make some bids, see how much the teams are wanting for them. Now then, in terms of inquiries, FC Rostov have come back to us and said they want 17 mil for Sara Azmou. Now, looking at that value, you tend to be able to negotiate pretty well. OGC Nice want 15.5 for Alassane Player, which is obviously significantly less. The other inquiries coming back, West Brom would want £21.5 million for Sado Berahino, and Torino want £23 million for Andrea Bellotti, which I think probably cancels him out, to be honest with you. We also only have like 25 mil left over, generally speaking, so I don't think we'll be able to go for Bellotti, and I think Sado Berahino is probably borderline. Tom Huddleston, I suppose we could chuck in the mix maybe just for this one, but we'll see. I think we'll maybe drop that down then to 12.5 and see if they go for that. So FC Rostov wanted 17 mil for Azmou. We're going to drop it down again, test the waters as we always do, try and find a bargain, and we'll offer £11 million as our first bid. Alassane Player is next up. We'll offer £10 million for him from OGC Nice, someone we actually came close to signing before. He was involved in a vote, but we decided against him at the time. And then the final striker we're going to look at is Danny Ings, who for some reason we haven't got an evaluation back on, even though I'm pretty sure I did go for that. We're going to offer £10 million for him, but you can see his salary is very, very high. Also, what I'd love to know from you guys is what positions do you think we need to strengthen in this squad still? I know we're going to need to get a centre-back soon, because Curtis Davies is going to start to decline, but I'm thinking of doing that in January. So centre-backs, we'll get a very good centre-back. We'll get a sort of 80 overall centre-back, but in January, not quite now. But are there any other positions you think we need to strengthen? Maybe wingers, maybe full-backs? Let me know in the comments section. Now, though, it is the day of the first game of the season. We're going to be playing Stoke City in the first game. Talking of the sliders, everything really has stayed the same, apart from the fact I've dropped the shot error and pass error down to 30. And the majority of their shots will probably end up going in. If it's still somehow easy, I will drop this again. So then here we are. It's not been that long, has it? I mean, when the football's like off for the summer, it feels like an eternity before it's back. It's only been 2 episodes. We're already back into EPL action for the start of Season 2 against Stoke City. Both teams, ourselves and Stoke included, obviously overachieving last season, so I'll have to see what we can both do this year. Nevertheless, the squad actually going into this one is pretty damn similar to the one we had in Season 1. The only change really is the fact that Ntep is now starting games, because obviously we brought him in from Rennes. We're facing Stoke. Oh my goodness me. This is going to be a difficult challenge, I'm not going to lie to you. Games are going to be more difficult. We're not going to win as many games as we did last year, because the shot error is going to be mad for the AI. Stoke already going down the line here with Jed and Shaqiri. Andrew Robertson, though, chasing him back. The ball into the box. Onto the head, I think, of Cenk Tosun. Thankfully, straight into the hands of Cardinal. Wake-up call already. Quick note as well, actually, basically all the new players are on the bench, apart from Van Drongelen, who's really going to be a very much future player. I don't think he'll even feature that much in this season at all. But everyone else that we've signed is on the bench. So Cyprien's on the bench, Afore is on the bench, and Shea Adams is on the bench as well. Ball into the box there, again Cenk Tosun on the end of it. Again, it's straight at the goalkeeper. Stoke have definitely had the better of the attacking play. Cosiello now to the edge of the area to Mason. Great turn from Mason. What a challenge, though, that is. Hopefully it won't be for too long. Keane there with the header. It's headed away. It's only as far as Mason. Keane will get there. It's then as far as Ndidi. Oh, my goodness me. What a shot! Jesus, it's about 1.5 yards wide in the end, but I just simply wasn't expecting that from Ndidi. That's incredible. He can of sorts. It's going to be Valkvist taking it alone. Jack Butland, though, with the save at the near post to deny the Swede his first goal for the club. In rather fortuitous circumstances it would have been. Going to swing this in towards the centre, really. Quite a lot of pace on it. It's towards Davies, and it's cleared off the line. Right, starting the second half, no changes at half-time. I feel as if we were playing pretty well with the lineup that we had out on the pitch. And Ntep's making a bit of a run, and Ntep is through. Great save from Jack Butland. Decent effort as well on the angle from Ntep. It's now found Stefaniak. Can he score? Surely he can. Yes, he can. And it is 1-0. Marvin Stefaniak gets our first goal of the season in the Premier League. This straight after the chance for Paul-Georges Ntep. Cosiello gets another assist to his name. And actually slicing across the ball there, Stefaniak. Thankfully, actually, because if you'd have actually got like full contact of that properly, I think Butland would have probably saved it. In the end, it nestles into the bottom right corner. Stefaniak wheels away, in celebration, and Mark Hughes is left to look disappointed on the touchline. I'm so excited for this guy's future. He's already doing bits here. Stefaniak here trying to charge down Glenn Johnson, and he has done brilliant stuff. He's just scored, and he's already going defensive and trying to get past players now as well. And he's doing so. He finds Cosiello, goes for the 1-2. He's gone past another. I love this kid. I honestly love him. And that is the end of the game. It is a 1-0 win. Not going to lie, a pretty comfortable one. Stoke had some half chances, but we did, I think, deserve the win. I think we had the majority of the big chances in the game, and obviously scoring. Thanks to Marvin Stefaniak, it is a 1-0 win in the first game of the season here at the KCOM Stadium. Ratings-wise, it was a man-of-the-match performance from Vincent Cosiello, actually. 9.2 rating yet again. Obviously great ratings as well there for Stefaniak, as well as also Valkvist and Curtis Davies. We've got a transfer offer here for Sam Klukas from Sheffield Wednesday. He is a player that I don't particularly feel as if we need, but given Hull City fans apparently seem to like him quite a lot, I'm a little bit unwilling to let him go, but then equally he's going to just be festering on the bench / the reserves. I've also got a bid here for David Myler that I didn't actually notice until literally just now. To be honest with you, I want to hold out for what he's worth really, or maybe just a little bit below, £2.3 million. A little bit of training then coming in. We will have to rotate training slots a lot more than we did in Season 1 because we've got a lot more promising young players in the side than we did in Season 1, whereas we only really had about 3 or 4 and they would just be trained all the way through the season. Now we've got an email here from our chief exec saying that Stoke have also made a bid for Alassane, player of OGC Nice. Unfortunate news though for us is that West Brom have rejected our bid because they're not willing to involve Tom Huddleston in the deal. They don't care for him. I am not willing to spend more than 14.5, so yeah, and we're not going to include Huddleston in the deal. We don't need him to be there anymore, so submit a new offer, but that is the most really I'm willing to pay. Okay, so good news and bad news. We'll start off with the good news. FC Rostov decided to accept our £11 million bid for Sardar Azmoun, which is pretty cheap actually. OGC Nice have rejected our bid because they've accepted a bid from another team, which will be Stoke City. So Stoke unfortunately have snatched Alassane, and Liverpool have just straight up rejected our bid because apparently they reckon Danny Ings is worth more than we've bidded for. So we're going to put in a new bid then of £13 million for Danny Ings, and we'll see what Liverpool say about that. Sheffield Wednesday are not willing to pay £2.2 million for Sam Kluka, so he will be staying at the club for now. But Norwich have decided that David Myler, on the other hand, is worth £2.3 million and have decided to go ahead and match that deal. So then it's the day of our second Premier League game of the season against West Ham, and some good news coming in on that day is that Liverpool have decided to accept our £13 million bid for Danny Ings. 110k a week is quite a substantial amount for a player who's got the same potential as Sardar Azmoun, but obviously he is English, so it's a little bit more realistic. We'll put important first team player in. Interestingly, we finally got a transfer offer coming in for Tom Huddleston, who's now 30 years of age. He's only going to start declining. There's no real point in him being here. We're going to counter offer 3.1 mil, which is what he's worth. Nevertheless, it is now time for the second game of the season. Just 3 days before my in-real-life birthday is this fixture on the 19th of August. A few changes to the side. Walen Cyprian will come in for his debut. He gets the nod just above Afori and Ndidi. Odubajo is also in for Valkvist. And I think apart from that, the squad is still the same. Still no place for Leon Bailey in the side just yet. Here is the West Ham side then. Quite a few changes in terms of transfers, actually. They brought in Kenny Tete and Neven Subotic. They've also got Jonathan Caleri up front as well, who's someone with decent potential. And Hector Bellerin has signed. Also honourable mention as well for a Leicester City career mode legend of FIFA 16, Fukurata Masuaku, who we're going to have to offer a lot of respect to after all he did for us last year. Got a chance here very early on in this game, and Tep with the chance. It's saved by Adrian. And sorry, it wasn't Ntep actually, it's Walen Cyprian with a very early chance here for us. That was extremely easy to carve through them. The ball's into the box, it's Kozielo, it's fallen there to a Hull City player. And West Ham are all over the place at the start of this game. The clearance is blocked. Here's Cyprian. He runs around a lot, does Walen Cyprian. He's lost the ball there, but he's then won it back. He does run around a lot, but I like that. I like that from central midfielders when they've got a good work ethic. And Tep to Stefaniak. Now Kozielo, who goes for the finesse effort, and it's a decent effort. Kozielo to Hernandez. Here's Cyprian. Kozielo's making the run, but unfortunately Cyprian can't quite find him. This time he does. Here's Kozielo now. Clean throw on goal. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Vincent Kozielo makes it 1-0 here against West Ham. And the assist coming in from Ryan Mason. Again, Mason gets so many assists in this squad. It's really well worked. Odubajo there finding Cyprian. He then finds Mason. The on-rushing run again from our number 10. And that is a great finish. Adrian doesn't even get anywhere near that. Half-time then, and once again we scored just before the break in this series. Right, ball's going to get swung in. Don't even know who it's aimed at. Don't even ask me who this is aimed at all. It almost went in. It was Odubajo. Adrian was in no man's land, and if Odubajo keeps that down, that's his first goal of the series. I'm going to monitor this quite well, but West Ham passing it through. Caleri going for the shot, and what a save that is from Johan Cardinal. One-handed. Another player, of course, that we signed from OGC Nice to deny Caleri. Lanzini, sorry, will put it into the box. What a block that is from Kozielo. A thunderous strike back in. I think it was Valencia or Koyate or someone. And here's Stefaniak. Try and use his good dribbling ability. But he's brought down and Mason somehow doesn't get there. Stefaniak has stayed down. Oh, and we have got an injury. No, Marvin Stefaniak's injured again. For God's sake, I just want this guy to prosper. How difficult is it? He's out again. Thankfully, we have got, a very capable replacement in Leon Bailey. Cyprien's looking pretty tired as well, so we're going to bring on Ebenezer Afori for his debut. Calera in a good position. He's cut past Michael Keane, and he's gone past him again. He goes for the strike, and again Cardinal with a great save, called into action. Here's Sofian Faguli. Oh, Dubarjo again. Look at him. Oh, and he's brought down by Afori. For God's sake. West Ham in a great position, and they have scored this time, and that has all come from Ebenezer Afori, basically tackling his own man, and with 6 minutes to go. Jonathan Caleri has scored. He has been troubling us all afternoon, to be fair, with various shots. It was a well-worked goal, though. Odubarjo tried to come across and cover, but couldn't. Leon Bailey's won the ball back there. Here's Afori. Now to Kozielo. Good ball from Afori. Kozielo, what can he do with it? He's got the run being made. It's back to Afori, who goes for the shot. That would have been one way to redeem himself, but unfortunately it is saved comfortably by Adrian. But it is full time in the end. 1-1 is the final result. Decent result, to be quite honest with you. I'll take a draw against West Ham away, though we could, of course, have won it had it not been for that mistake towards the end. So ratings-wise, Vincent Kozielo is again man of the match with a 9 rating. The kid is on fire at the start of the season. It's a sprained ankle for Marvin Stefaniak, so he's out for 4 weeks. It could have been better, but it could have been far worse, especially for an injury where the player's actually forced off the pitch. Some even better news actually coming in here. Sardar Azmoun has accepted our contract offer, so we can actually sign him if we want to. I've also got a bid accepted as well from West Brom for Sada Berahino, so we're going to make a contract offer for him. In the meantime, there will be a poll in the top right of the screen which allows you guys to vote for which of these strikers we go ahead and buy. It'll either be Sada Berahino, Sardar Azmoun or Danny Ings, all of which we've had transfer offers accepted for, so we can now go ahead and make some contract offers for them. Obviously Sardar Azmoun has already accepted our contract offer. Here is the table then after 2 games of this EPL season. Spurs, City and United are the only teams with a 100% record. We currently sat 6th, joint there with Chelsea and West Ham. In the background you are now seeing the Hall of Fame. Obviously quite a lot changed after the pre-season tournament. We've now got a record transfer sale being Harold Preciado, and we could actually have a record signing in the next episode with whatever striker we buy. In fact, I think we're basically guaranteed to break our new record, potentially, unless we sign Sardar Azmoun. Nevertheless, that is basically the end of this episode of FIFA 17 Hull City Career Mode. If you have enjoyed this episode, then of course, feel free to hit the likes button, and if you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe. Comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much, and also don't forget to vote on the poll that is in the top right of the screen to decide which striker we sign in the next episode. We'll probably be going through deadline day next episode, so we'll be ending the transfer window in that one, hopefully signing a striker, and also signing an attacking midfielder, which I'll probably decide on later. Apart from that though, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.